Good evening. My name is Maria Rendley. I'm from Huntington Station. I'm a taxpayer, homeowner, and voter. I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight. And my question is related to the town board and the current serving councilman and the supervisor, and relating to taxes and finances. Can you please tell me what a liaison, who's got the liaison position appointed to them by the supervisor, which is mandatory under the Code of Ethics of the Town of Huntington, Section 29-4? And what written reports have you made in recommendations to the supervisor as that liaison?
Okay, so just so I'm clear, who is the liaison?
I'm asking who's got the liaison position appointed to them for this department?
This department. And
what
whose report, what reports have you seen? And that's being directed to the current serving?
Reports. They have to be written reports.
The current serving people would only be able to answer that.
Yes. It's a mandatory requirement that the supervisor appoint each council person a liaison to the various departments of the Town of Huntington for oversight.
As far as I know, there has not been a liaison appointed. I believe there should have been a liaison appointed. I have gone over the budget, been involved in the budget process for the past 4 years, and it has been difficult for me to get information. I myself, as a council person, have been blocked, obstructed, and delayed from getting information. I have even had to use a Freedom of Information request to get information. Can you imagine that as a sitting council person?
As have I. So then I'm going to move my question to Cupperson, Councilman Cupperson, please, and Supervisor Patron, who's had service of 20 years and 16 years. In those 20 years, Supervisor, have you ever appointed any of the councilmen liaisons, as is your required responsibility under the Code of Ethics, and that failure to do so caused removal from office? And do you think you're above the law?
Well, I think you're a little extreme in terms of removal of office.
Anyone can read the Code of Ethics. It's available.
Let's try. Sorry, Mr. Patron. Let's stick with one question, okay? And we're gonna have those people that you initially, okay? And then at the end, open forum. If you have follow-ups, we certainly invite follow-ups. We're also offering our website as any follow-up questions that you would like to. You can email to Greater Huntington. We will submit. Okay, so if Mr. Patron, you'd like to answer that question, who is your liaison? And what reports have you heard from them?
First of all, reports are not required. Okay? They are not required. One, two, liaisons keep changing. And we do this according to some of the topics that are at hand. At times, Councilman Cupperson's been liaison to our voting community. Susan Berland has been. I've had Mark Mayoka sit with me on occasion on the fiscal things. We do talk, we don't agree, but we do discuss it. I've had Mr. Cook liaison with the Highway Department. He offered this. Many of these things take place during our workshops and our exec sessions, and people take those responsibilities. Sue Berland is working with the fire departments. We've had several liaisons, and they've done the various jobs, and they change. They continue changing. Mr. Cupperson works with the law department. Because he does have that expertise. The idea of liaison is not so much to run an area or a department. A liaison is to bring information back basically to the supervisor, so that the supervisor can have assistance in administering. And we have done that.
Thank you, Mr. Patron. Mr. Cook?
Early on when I came in, as I said, I went through general services and it was run horrendously. I asked Supervisor Patron to be the liaison and to work with that group to take care of it. I was denied. The fact of the matter is that the head of general services is related to Mark Cupperson, so that it was sort of tying your hands up. You couldn't get anything done. I've not been able to get any information, and I, along with Mark Mayoka, have also had to file for Freedom of Information to get things, and I still, to this day, have not received them.
You know what? A well-run town is run by the supervisor, who is the chief executive officer, and the department heads, who by law administer those department heads. The department heads, under the town law, hire and fire the employees and report to the supervisor. The job of a town board member on this municipal corporate board is not to micromanage the daily affairs of the town. That's not how a good corporation runs. That's not how a good organization runs. You elect a chief executive officer, a strong, good leader like Supervisor Petrone. We pick department heads who set policy. As town board members, do we have a say about how policy gets made? Sure, legislation, talking to department heads, but it's not to micromanage those people. Because when they're reporting to 5 different people, instead of one executive, you have a prescription for disaster